Welcome back, everyone. I don't have like a deck profile for you guys today, but I did want to talk about something that I think is kind of cool when it comes to the design of certain cards, especially in um, the attuned world for a certain symbol. Um, this is a very interesting thing that I've seen mainly on the water symbol, and it's this idea of stacking the bottom of the deck and manipulating the bottom of the deck. You've got Singing Fish, which can name a card type as a form, reveal the top card of your deck. If the revealed card matches its name type, add it to your hand, otherwise add it to the bottom of your deck. So I mainly find this very interesting because of Secret Past. And this says, as a response, after you block with this card, put it to the bottom of your deck, which is kind of cool. But response flip, before you make a check, you may check from the bottom of your deck. So this card right here is why I love this interesting, mainly on the water symbol style of play for adding cards to the bottom of your deck, because this means if you have like Singing Fish and you declare attack. Now, if you flip over an attack, you get to draw it. But if you flip over a foundation, that foundation has to go to the bottom of your deck, which could usually mean you've got a bad check, you've got a good check off the top of the deck. But if you have Secret Past, you can check from the bottom of your deck. Same thing with cards like Bagpipe Cacophony. On a blitz, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, put one on top of your deck and the rest on the bottom. So that way you could kind of know, if you have Secret Past, what your next 2 checks are going to be on the top and the bottom, which is kind of cool. We also have seen some things with Irwin Smith being able to build the bottom card of our deck. So kind of having this weird ability to stack the bottom of the deck and kind of know what that is going to have kind of puts us in an interesting spot. We have the USS Cerritos. As a form, we reveal the top 3 cards of our deck, put one in our hand, put one to the bottom of the deck, and one to the top of the deck. Obviously, this is not attuned, so we would have to have a water character with one of these 4 symbols to do that. But I just think it's really interesting. Tavern Brawl can put cards on bottom of the deck in random order. Teenage Downtime allows us to draw a card and then put any card from our hand to the bottom of the deck. So with Teenage Downtime and Secret Past, you can effectively draw a card and put a 5 or 6 on the bottom of your deck to check later. Obviously, this is really good in a character that can reuse and abuse Secret Past a lot. And let's take a look at that. So we're looking at water characters in Standard. So I don't think Bebop and Leatherhead are really worrisome. Splinter is kind of neat. I kind of dig this kind of playstyle in Splinter because it shows more of like the sensei mastery of your deck of, I'm just going to put good checks on top, good checks on bottom. I can store these for later. It's kind of neat. You would just need ways to unflip the main card that is Secret Life. I've already forgotten what it's called. I think it's Secret Past or something like that. But a character that really does this well is Keyleth, because as a form, you can commit a foundation to unflip any foundation. So you can unflip Secret Past and constantly be checking off the bottom of your deck while stacking good checks to the bottom for later, which is such an interesting play style. You can also unflip with, of course, Beckett Mariner, Adventuring Archaeologist. This is the character that is the main character of the deck that this card appears in, so you can unflip that way. Also, unflippable through where is it? Ochako 4. So the ability to just once per turn after you play your second or greater attack, unflip a foundation. And she has several cards that can unflip. Let's just look off of the water symbol what we can use to unflip this card. Nothing. Oh, nothing because I don't know how to spell. Sorry, guys. Unflip. So we've got Riani, which is an infinity card that can allow us to flip one foundation to unflip a foundation. We can unflip it with Fallen Angel's Revenge. That's kind of interesting. We can discard a momentum, spend a momentum to unflip 2 foundations. We can unflip it with Falling Heel Strike, Harpoon Vault, snap out of it if we are a student. And then these 2 unflip your momentum. So there is kind of this interesting through line defensively on water to stack good checks to the bottom of your deck in order to have them as emergency checks later. And like I said, Secret Past, it can put itself on the bottom of your deck by blocking with it. So it's a block that clears itself from your card pool, and it's a card that also in your stage allows you to maybe get a really good check when you absolutely need it. So any way to put cards to the bottom of the deck. So like I said, we've got Singing Fish, Mystic Recovery if we haven't played any attacks, Bagpipe Cacophony if we're not just looking for the water symbol. We've got Teenage Downtime, which is, like I said, only really good in a character like Splinter. But just to be able to selectively add any card in our hand that we want as an emergency check, any 5 or 6 check. Tavern Brawl can reveal cards, but it's kind of random. Unyielding Enthusiasm is only after we've gained health. USS Cerritos is probably the best way to use this because you can not only draw a card basically, but you get to stack the top and bottom of your deck, which is further guaranteeing your good checks. Trickster's Blessing, you can add 1 card from either player's discard pile to the bottom of the deck. You can put your own 6 checks on the bottom. Avoiding Conflict can put itself on the bottom of the deck to draw a card during the enhance step, so you can guarantee your next check's going to be a 5. And this, again, has all, so an all-water character such as Splinter could really make use of a card like this. Dignified Display is kind of cool because, again, if you block with this card, you can add the bottom card of your deck to your hand. So, again, in an all and water character, after this attack is blocked, you can put it on the bottom of your deck. And if you block with it, you can add the bottom card of your deck to your hand. So it is kind of this very interesting and kind of roundabout. Like, it's not perfect, obviously, because they've only, I think, just started really focusing on this. Convenient timing, you can flip it to add a card from either discard pile to the bottom of your deck. Valiant Assault, if this attack deals damage, look at the top card of your deck, you may add it to the bottom. So just this way of manipulating your own deck and checking a card from the bottom where you've hidden it. Your rival can't mill it off of you, they can't force you to draw it. It's just fascinating. And this isn't going to be like a very long video because, like I said, it's mainly on the water symbol with only a like the water symbol is the only one that has Secret Past that allows you to check from the bottom of your deck. But you do have the all air and evil symbols with Dignified Display, which lets you basically draw a card from the bottom of your deck. And I just think this is a fascinating design space that I think they're playing with, and I hope to see a lot more of. I think this is a really cool ability. Because this says after you block with this card, add the bottom card of your deck to your hand. So imagine you had a Dignified Display that was blocked and you put it to the bottom of your deck. You block with the Dignified Display. If you commit Trickster's Blessing to pass the check to block, you respond with Trickster's Blessing to put any card you want on the bottom of your deck. And you could pick it up with Dignified Display. But let's say, like I said, it was blocked. You play this as a block, you draw that Dignified Display, and then when you play the second Dignified Display as a block, you commit Trickster's Blessing, put any card from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck, and then draw when the block is successful with dignified display from the bottom of your deck, you've guaranteed whatever card you want. So you can kind of use these as chain blocks. And it's just very fascinating. I think there's a lot of ways. There are a lot of things like on the chaos symbol that put cards on the bottom of your deck in any order, like in a random order. Cards like Canine Tracer, you put the rest on the bottom of your deck. You know, obviously you can get to choose the order at that point. But, you know, you don't want to do stuff in the random order. But this idea of just, it's like stacking your deck. Stacking your deck is a very powerful ability. And if you play it in like a character with the all symbol like Splinter, like let's look at our all water characters. I didn't hit the character button. So we got Splinter, Itsuka Kendo, and Yu Hojo. We're going to ignore Yu Hojo because after attuned, this character just went way downhill. But Kendo and Splinter being able to access all these cards that stack the bottom of your deck, so you can constantly use cards like Secret Pass to check or Dignified Display to draw. You also get the Ryu card. All attuned, 6 check. Battle holds the answer. So, Tenacious, your turn. Add this card to the top of your deck. You can free stack a 6 check on top of your deck. You also get Stealth and Cunning if it's committed by a rival effect. Draw 1 card and stack 1 card from your hand on top of your deck. All and water combined have this great synergy of just stacking the top of your deck, stacking the bottom of your deck, kind of just putting cards wherever you're going to need them. And I love just the fireworks that go off in my brain when I'm thinking about something like this. It is probably my favorite strategy and my favorite card design that I've seen so far from this new attuned style world. Because I'm still kind of concerned about Fire being able to play a lot of stuff from the remove zone. That's still very iffy to me. But having water kind of just moving cards around, I know it's mainly the card pool clog symbol, but if it has this secondary thing of putting cards to the bottom of your deck and then manipulating that somehow, or maybe if all is all about stacking cards from the top and bottom of the deck, so it's kind of like a deck control symbol at this point, I think that'd be a really cool design philosophy I want to see produced more of. I want to see more cards that manipulate the bottom of the deck. You know, maybe we have a card that's like, you know, if this card's committed due to a rival effect, add the bottom card of your deck to your hand, something like that. Something that's normally random, but through the symbols, through lines of like water and maybe some of all, you can manipulate that a little bit more. There's even... Does he spell it with 1 R? He spells it with 1 R. Garrett Brett. So Garrett Brett 4 here says, response, add 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. Before your draw step, commit 1 of your opponent's foundations. It does not ready during their next ready step. And then response, commit after an attack is played. Add the bottom card of your deck to your hand. And look at what symbols this guy has. All and water. So I'm not saying in retro, Garrett Brett 4 gets even cooler. I mean, he does. But I think it's kind of interesting that these 2 symbols show up on a character that's all about, you know, putting cards to the bottom of your deck and then drawing them back so you're getting your resources back. But also, they've kind of focus on that, and I really dig that. I think I want to see more of this. What do you guys think? Do you think this is going to be more of a through line on like water and all, kind of specifically of manipulating the bottom card of your deck? Would you enjoy seeing something like this? I know I would. I'm all about interesting new ways to kind of plan instead of just, oh, you know, less of like symbol identity, but more of like, it's hard to explain. It's not quite like an archetypal feature, but yeah, kind of like, yeah, water does this more, but other symbols can do it too, like all maybe is like a deck manipulation symbol, and then water's already had a lot of this boost to just, oh, we're just gonna put stuff on the bottom, we're gonna bury it at sea, basically. I know I'd like to see more of this, and this video was just kind of me rambling on about this cool new mechanic I'm excited about. So let me know in the comments below if you want to see more design spaces like this. What other kind of design spaces would you like to see for certain symbols going forward? I know we just brought back evil and good, and good's kind of like the free build symbol now, as it kind of has been. Evil's more about check hacking, which it almost always has been, but now all, which used to be kind of like a jack of all trades / draw symbol, is now the mill symbol in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So again, that kind of works with that deck manipulation theme that I had an idea for. And of course, water's all about card pool clogging, but a lot of that usually comes from the top of the deck, so that could kind of be like a deck manipulation kind of deal. But I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. I just wanted to get on camera and talk about a mechanic I thought was really neat. Yeah, so let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The channel's been growing quite a bit lately, and I'm kind of shocked, but also very thankful for everyone who's supporting me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.